Still no microphone for this week's video, but we are just as motivated to be making pumpkin sugar scrubs. Hello everyone! Do not adjust your sound system at all. You are probably hearing the wind in the background on a very breezy day. Hello everyone, my name is Brendan. I am one of the co-owners of the Rustic Tub, small bath and body care company in the heart of tiny Ontario, and we are keeping on track with making videos this time around. If you don't know what happened, I had a wonderful monologue a couple weeks ago as to why we went missing for the summer holidays. We didn't go anywhere, we just got busy, but we're not focusing on that today. For today's video, we are actually going to be making a pumpkin sugar scrub, one of our fall line staples that we are coming out with this year. We didn't do it last year for reasons unknown, and I literally do not know why because everyone was requesting it. So this year, we're getting our butts in gear and we're actually doing it. So this year, when we were figuring out the lines that we were doing and what we wanted to accomplish for this year as a whole, we really wanted to come up with different scents, different flavors for everything that's happening. So when it came to soap, shampoo, bath bombs, and everything, we kept a lot of favorites in mind because we really just tried to make a placement for it all. But with sugar scrubs, I think we only came out with one last year, and it was our autumn jam one, which we've already made. We're ready to go off to the side in our little rustic tub. But we really wanted to do something else. Now we are coming out with the specialty one. That's for a whole different other show, so you'll be seeing that later on. For now, we wanted to have the second staple on the line, and because pumpkin spice is such a popular scent and a popular item to use, especially in skincare because it's super rich and high in vitamins A and C, it is time that we come out and finally, and I love it as well, with our pumpkin spice sugar scrub. Now we have made sugar scrubs in the past with a couple of our videos, so if you need a little glance as to what that is, totally fine to go back and watch those. I have everything laid out here right now. It might look a little alarming as to all of the stuff that is on here, but it is a simple step-by-step process that I love to do. If you are new at diving into this world and wondering what a sugar scrub is, a sugar scrub is literally just a body exfoliant. It's what you do to it is what makes it special. I will say, our sugar scrub recipe, we did end up purchasing off of Etsy to start with, and then we altered it and evolved it so it fit our style and our brand. And from there, we played with it more in order to concoct our own recipe for it. So once again, it's great if you start out. It can be as simple as just simply adding an essential oil to sugar, or you can be doing what we're doing today, which is a lot, but easy. Now, if you are starting to get into this realm of things, what is a sugar scrub? It is a body exfoliant. So you can either use it in the shower, the bath, you can use it as a hand massage tool for it. It's going to remove your dead skin cells and help purify the skin underneath it. So anything that you add to it can help benefit it as well. So for us, we actually turn ours into a soaping component as well, just so you get that little extra kick of self-care into it. So with that brief explanation, I'm going to go over what we are using today. Feel free to follow along. Our recipe will be located up on Patreon for this one, so if you want to check it out over there. But for now, just write down and make your own concoction from this one if you want. To get it started, you can probably guess this down here, being brown sugar, is a crucial part of the ingredients. Of course, yes, obviously, we're also going to be throwing in white sugar. I just don't have the muscle power right now to lift that whole bin up on the table to show you. Moving on from there, we have our glycerin oil. This is just going to go ahead and draw in the moisture component into your body and lock it in. We have our avocado oil, which once again is a fine light carrier oil. Doesn't clog the pores of the skin, it also draws in moisture, and it's a great trans fat to add a collagen boost to your skin. Going into castor oil, this baby is hydration personified. You can use one or the other, just balance out your components of glycerin and castor oil just so it matches up. We do both because in every single video I have mentioned moisture. We love moisture for the skin. Moving on down, we have a sodium lactate. We also have our nice little fragrance component, so it's pumpkin carving from Fizz Fairy. Yes, it is a Bath & Body Works dupe, so we have it in bottle form for our products. Bringing up next, we have emulsifying wax. This is just going to give our sugar scrub a body. It's not going to melt in heat. This is really the component of what's going to set it apart, because if you add liquid to sugar, it's going to essentially just turn into a giant puddle, whereas this will hold its body. Secret ingredient today is our pumpkin seed oil. This one is from Voyager. So once again, pumpkin seed oil is amazing for the skin. It's rich in vitamin E oils. It's also rich with vitamin A and C and helps draw moisture to the skin, and is actually a really good beneficial boost to your body's immune system. So if you have breakouts or anything, this baby will lock it in. Going on from there into a more fun thing, we have our mica colors right here just to add color to it. We are low on orange sherbet. We did just order some in, so gotta wait for that. So I do have my red and yellow in the back, just waiting in case we have to add it on standby. I'm also throwing in avocado butter. This is just gonna give body and add moisture to the sugar scrub as well. So it's a nice little exfoliation for the skin, as well as your skincare routine. Moving on from this side, we have our Germal Plus. So this is what's going to prolong the life of it. I will get into that a little bit after, so bear with me for this one. We have our distilled water, cocoa glucoside, just to add a little bit of thickness and texture to it. We have our cocoa butter, and we have stearic acid. To round out the rest of the ingredients, we are also using a sodium alkyl isethionate, or better known as SCI powder. That is going to give us our soaping material for it. So it's going to be a nice component to the body as well as the exfoliation. Now going into the heat of things, and this is where it will get more monologue, let's be real here. We are making a pumpkin spice sugar scrub. So pumpkin seed oil obviously is going to be a good choice. I will say I really wanted to add a pumpkin puree to it, but adding a puree or any kind of fruit blend that is that fresh is kind of a factor that you have to take into account of how fast you sell, how much you sell, and where you want to go with it. You can absolutely add pumpkin puree into the mix. Now, I will be very forthcoming. Our sugar scrubs do not fly off the shelves. They sell pretty well, but by no means will they fly off the shelves in 3 to 7 days. I say 3 to 7 days because if you are using a pumpkin puree, even if you use a preservative like Germal Plus and or Optifin, you are still dealing with a fresh produce product. So you are more prone to bacterial growth, funguses, mold growing in there, and it would just be a matter of time. So you absolutely can. You would just also have to refrigerate your sugar scrubs, which in this studio, unfortunately, we don't have. It is a shelf life one. But it does have an out of shelf life from 3 to 7 days if you choose to go that route. Since we are not, and we want our stuff to last longer than a week without a fridge, sadly we had to pass on the pumpkin puree. Maybe one day, but today's not the day. Now we've had enough of the explanations. I'm going to go ahead and go into the measuring portion. So I'm going to go ahead, throw on my gloves, and we will see you when we throw everything into the bowls. Starting up strong, I will say before we get into this, some people use multiple bowls when they come with their concoctions of mixing. That is okay. We don't have to with this one because everything can be melted down as one. That is fine. Everyone is different with their own creative process. Once again, I'm just showing you how I do our process. To start it off, I am just going to go ahead, add in some distilled water. Now I am doing a half batch for today's video, just because I do have to go pick up some jars for that. So we are a little bit on a rendering portion of saving jars. So today we're getting a half batch and we will have a full batch online as well. Up next, I'm just adding in our sodium lactate for it. That one's just going to be a small little bloop amount. Don't need much with this product. I'm now adding in our cocoa glucoside, so this is just going to add the thickness and the body to it. This also is another ingredient that draws moisture to the skin, which once again, we all love in products. Up next, a mainstay ingredient in self-care, we have our glycerin going on in, and we're just doing the little bit amount to make that match. Following suit is castor oil. So fun fact, if you leave castor oil out, it will actually absorb water in the area and add to the mixture as well and create a larger body of castor oil. Learned that in makeup school. All right, I'm now rounding out the oils by adding in our avocado oil. So we're just going to go ahead, throw in the number that we need to throw in to wrap out the liquid portions of this all. Coming out next is our emulsifying wax. So once again, this is just going to give it the body and help prevent it from melting in warmer situations. Now, I made a nice little fib. This is at this point where we are adding in our pumpkin seed oil. So we're just going to go ahead, add in the desired effect for that one. Now the oils are done. Scooping out our avocado butter for the mix. A little really does go a long way for this mixture, especially with all the other oils we are adding. Everything is so rich in here already. A little will go a long way. Rounding out with some cocoa butter. So this will just add hardness. Cocoa butter is also really good for the skin as well. It is a great moisturizing component, and it is a harder butter, so it does last a lot longer. Going ahead, adding in our stearic acid. And because it's a half batch, you're going to hear it again. Little goes a long way. This is where things get serious. So we are going ahead and adding in our SCI powder. Please be masked up for this, as this stuff is a fun lung irritant, and we want to protect whatever we can. Now with everything in the bowl, I'm going to go ahead, give it a nice little stir around, and then I am putting it on our double broiler system so everything can melt and combine as one, and we will be back for round 2. Well, alright, so while everything was bubbling down, I went ahead, added in our Germal Plus into our nice little cup. So this is just our little preservative that we're going to go ahead and mix with our fragrance. And we want our fragrance to have a kick. The good thing about this one is that it is a natural fragrance. So if you go a little bit over the top of what you're normally used to, that is okay. It's actually going to be great for the skin because it's natural pumpkin. So I'm going to let this sit off to the side while everything goes from there as we go on to the next portion. Next step is measuring out our sugars. So I like to have a different combination of each. So that's why I mix brown sugar with our white sugar. I also do a lot of things by hand because I like personally going through and making sure that everything is clumped up. Sometimes a brown sugar can go really, really hard, and all you need is a little bit of a massaging technique, or you throw it into more molasses. That's the secret. Finally, the last of the ingredients that we are prepping is the white sugar itself. So I'm going to just go ahead, fill up the bowl to the desired effect, and the desired weight is what I really meant to say. And then we're going to go ahead and let it set aside after I add in our mica powder. Now, because I am almost out of my orange sherbet mica powder, this gets the last of the drippings of it, and then I will go ahead and add in more yellow to a red. The goal is for it to be as pumpkin-y as possible, if that makes sense on the color scale. So I'm just going to go ahead, for every 2 parts to yellow that I add, I'm just going to add 1 part to red. That will add a bigger glow to it. You can kind of see on the spoon the color combo that it will create. So fingers crossed for the half batch. This is going to be good for what we need. So with this, we go ahead, set it up into our mixing bowl off to the side, and we wait for everything else to melt down. All right, we pulled this from our double broiler, so right now it has the consistency of a really bad custard cream ready to go. That is what we are looking for. So it is also the right temperature, so we're going to go ahead, add in our fragrance and our preservative just to keep everything fresh, and then we are going to be blending it, so I'm not going to bore you with the blending portion. I'll just show you the after effect. With that being done, it has a more gross jello-y consistency mixed with the body lotion. So we're going to go ahead, plop this into our bowl, ready to go. And then we are just going to go ahead and have it go on a nice little spin cycle. So I'm going to go ahead, mix this all up. I'm going to change levels on it with a whisk option for our mixer. And I really want to get the air kind of circulating in there. So I will be right back when that is all mixed up. I'll have it on for about 5 minutes and we will be ready to start portioning it out into the jars. Okay, there we have it. It is a beautiful consistency for that. If I tip this anymore over, it's going to come out. And with that show and tell, it means we are now ready to scoop. So I have a nice little ice cream scooper that we just picked up from Walmart. It doesn't have to be super fancy. And that's one thing that I love telling people is you don't have to be fancy to do this. Whatever works for you, works for you. Now we are using 8-ounce jars for this, so you just go ahead, fill up what you need to fill. We generally get about 5 jars out of a batter of mixture here, so if we get more, we get more. If we get less, we get less. We're not really hard pressed on it. 5 is the average when we do a half one. 10 obviously being the regular to our regular recipe. So I'm just going to go ahead. I'm going to keep on filling these up, because that means once this is done, we are actually done today's video. Before we say goodbye, however, I always like to tip it up and show out everyone exactly what we do. So I always like to do a nice little spoon around the edge just to make it look really pretty. We don't have one of those pumping action machines. This is all hand scooped. So I want to be able to do something simple on the top that makes it look like we put love and care into it. And with those 5, that means it is officially the end of the video. As always, if you like what you see, please do not forget to like, subscribe, ring the bell for notifications, and if you want to see more, you can head on over to our Patreon for the full-blown recipe and some behind-the-scenes stuff while we blog away our little bit of lives for everyone. But for now, our pumpkin puree sugar scrub is complete for this week's video, and until next time to figure out what we're gonna do, I will see you soon, everyone. Bye.